Every morning, before your feet touch the ground, you already know the world is burning. A war you can't stop, an economy you can't control, a disaster you can't escape. And yet, you keep scrolling. Not because you're ignorant, but because you're informed. Or at least that's what you tell yourself. But what if I told you that endless news isn't making you aware? It's quietly training your mind to give up. News sells itself as knowledge, as responsibility, as moral duty. If you don't know, you're part of the problem. So you watch, you read, you refresh. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the news you consume gives you zero agency. You don't act, you don't resolve, you don't intervene, you absorb. Your brain receives a constant stream of threat signals without resolution, without closure, without control. And biologically, that matters. This is where doom cycles begin. A doom cycle isn't just bad news. It's unresolved danger repeated endlessly. Your brain evolved to handle danger in short bursts. Fight, flight, then rest. But endless news never lets the danger end. So your nervous system stays half-activated. Not panicked enough to run. Not calm enough to rest. Just tense. You scroll for relief. But every headline reactivates the threat. And without realizing it, you start confusing exposure with preparation. I'm staying informed. No, you're staying stimulated. Over time, something darker happens. Psychologists call it learned helplessness. It's what happens when a mind experiences repeated stress, with no way to change the outcome. Eventually, the brain stops trying. You still care, but differently. You're angry, but passive. Aware, but frozen. Opinionated, but inactive. You comment, you argue, you share. But deep down, your brain has learned a quiet lesson. Nothing I do changes anything. That belief doesn't stay in politics. It leaks into life. Motivation drops. Hope thins out. Energy disappears. Not because you're lazy, but because your mind has been trained to expect futility. Here's the paradox. Endless news makes you feel anxious and dependent, because anxiety wants certainty, so you keep checking. Has it gotten worse? Did something change? Am I missing something important? The platforms know this. Fear increases retention. Outrage boosts engagement. Uncertainty keeps you scrolling. You think you're choosing the news, but psychologically, the news is choosing you. The real cost isn't stress, it's attention erosion. When your mind is flooded with global crises, small personal actions feel meaningless. Long-term goals feel fragile. Daily effort feels pointless. Why plan your future? When the world feels unstable? Why focus deeply? When disaster is always breaking? This is how a population becomes informed, but ineffective. This isn't about ignorance, and it's not about turning off the world. It's about regaining agency. The mind needs bounded information, clear relevance, actionable context, not constant threat. You don't need to know everything. You need to know what you can act on. And just as importantly, you need periods of silence to let your nervous system reset. Because awareness without recovery isn't wisdom. It's damage. If you feel tired, cynical, numb, or quietly hopeless, it may not be because the world is worse. It may be because your mind was never meant to carry the weight of the entire planet every single day. The question isn't, how do I stay informed? The real question is, what is this information doing to me? And once you see that clearly, you can't unsee it. If you like deep psychological dives like this, like and subscribe for more.